Let me ask you a simple question. How honest are you with yourself? Not with others, not with the world, but with yourself. Because here's the thing. The biggest lies we tell are the ones we whisper quietly in our own mind. We say, I'll start tomorrow. I'm too tired today. I'm not ready yet. But these aren't just harmless thoughts. They're the chains holding us back, the walls blocking our path. Discipline is the foundation upon which all success is built. Lack of discipline inevitably leads to failure. And discipline starts with truth with yourself. Because until you stop lying to yourself, until you face the facts of where you are, you can never truly grow. So this is your moment. You're called to be brutally honest, to see the truth without excuses, to break free from the stories you've been telling yourself. Because the only thing standing between you and your success is the lies you keep believing. Stop lying. Start living. That's where real change begins. Let's begin with a truth that many of us don't want to face. You are the only one standing in your way. That's right. Not the economy, not your circumstances, not the people around you. You. You see, it's easy to blame the world for where you are. It's easy to say, I don't have the time, or I'm not lucky, or I don't have the resources. But the harsh reality is, until you stop lying to yourself, nothing will change. Let me explain what I mean by lying to yourself. It's those little stories you tell when you decide not to act. I'll start tomorrow. I'm too tired today. I'm waiting for the right moment. Sound familiar? These stories aren't harmless. They're poison, slowly eating away at your potential. You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. That direction starts with one thing: honesty. When you're honest with yourself, you stop making excuses. You stop hiding behind comfort. You stop waiting for external circumstances to be perfect. Because the truth is, you don't need to be ready. You don't need permission. You just need to start. You see, action is the antidote to lying to yourself. The moment you say enough and take a step forward, you break the cycle. You show yourself what you're capable of. You prove that your dreams are not just fantasies. You start building momentum. But here's the catch. Action isn't always glamorous. It's often uncomfortable. It's often scary. That's why the lies come. Because the truth hurts sometimes. Because discipline is hard. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. You want your goals? You want success? Then you must build that bridge with action on plank at a time. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for clarity. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. If you want to change, start doing. No more lies. No more excuses. No more waiting. Here's a challenge for you. Look at one area of your life where you've been lying to yourself. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's your career. Maybe it's a relationship. Now ask yourself honestly, what's the next small step I can take right now? Take it, even if it's imperfect, even if it's scary, because that step is your truth, your commitment to change. Remember, greatness isn't born from ideas alone. It's born from action. The major key to your better future is you. Stop lying to yourself about what you can't do. Start proving what you can do. Show up for yourself every day. Do the work, however small. Build a life of integrity, starting with honesty. Your future depends on this moment. Will you lie to yourself again, or will you start doing? The choice is yours. Let's get honest for a moment. We all have stories we tell ourselves. Stories that make us feel safe. Stories that keep us comfortable. But comfort is a sneaky enemy. It hides behind excuses and whispers, lies so soft we hardly notice. And these stories? They become the chains that keep us stuck where we are. Think about it. How many times have you said, I don't have enough time. I'm too tired. I don't have the right skills. I'm waiting for the perfect moment. Sound familiar? These aren't just words. They're shields. Shields we raise to protect ourselves from discomfort. Because growth Growth requires discomfort. It asks us to leave what's familiar, to face uncertainty, to risk failure. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. Excuses keep us from starting. They give us permission to stay idle, to delay action. But what if those excuses are just stories? Stories we tell to avoid the hard truth? That change is difficult. That success requires effort. That we have to push through resistance. You see, excuses sound reasonable. They sound true. But in reality, they're a form of self-deception. And here's the danger. When we believe our excuses, we accept less than our potential. We settle. We shrink our dreams. We rob ourselves of possibility. If you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. It's that simple. No matter where you are, no matter what your situation, if you want it badly enough, you'll push past the excuses. But if you don't, you'll stay in the same place, telling yourself the same stories. Let me ask you, what stories have you been telling yourself lately? I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm not talented enough. I don't have the connections. Recognize these stories for what they are. Comfort zones, disguised as reality. They keep you safe from failure, but they also keep you safe from success. Imagine if instead of believing those stories, you challenge them. What if you said, I don't have enough time, but what can I do with the time I do have? I'm not ready, but what's one step I can take anyway? I don't know how, but what can I learn today? The difference is huge, because when you stop believing your excuses, you open the door to growth. You take responsibility. You take ownership of your life, and you start moving forward, no matter how uncomfortable it feels. Remember, comfort is a trap. It's easy to stay in, but hard to get out. Success lives on the other side of discomfort. Discomfort is a sign you're growing. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. So the next time you hear your excuses, don't accept them as truth. Question them. Challenge them. Replace them with questions that lead to action. What's one excuse I can turn into an opportunity? What's one story I can rewrite to serve my goals? What's one small step I can take despite my fear or doubt? This is how you start to break free. By recognizing the stories you tell to stay comfortable and choosing to rewrite them with truth and courage. Because the life you want doesn't come to those who stay safe. It comes to those willing to face discomfort, to those willing to challenge their excuses, to those willing to do the work. So friend, be honest. What stories are you telling yourself today? And are you ready to change them? If you are, you're already one step closer to becoming the person you want to be. Let's take a moment and be completely honest with ourselves. Are you truly seeing your life as it is? Not how you wish it was. Not how you hope it will be someday. But how it really is right now, without sugarcoating, without excuses. Because there's power in truth. Not just any truth. Radical honesty. Radical honesty is tough. It means looking in the mirror and facing the parts you don't like. The failures. The mistakes. The wasted time. The dreams you shelved away. It's easier to cover these things up with stories, isn't it? To convince yourself you'll get to it later. To soften the blow with excuses. To hide behind denial. But let me tell you, you cannot grow until you know where you really are. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Facing your reality without fear isn't about self-criticism or blame. It's about clarity. It's about understanding the truth of your situation so you can make real change. When you are radically honest, you cut through the fog. You see what's working and what isn't. You recognize what's holding you back and what's pushing you forward. Imagine trying to build a house on quicksand. No matter how much effort you put in, it sinks and falls. But once you build on solid ground, the structure stands firm and strong. Your truth is your solid ground. Without it, your efforts are wasted energy. You might be busy, but you're not moving forward. You might be trying, but you're not improving. Radical honesty means owning your choices, not blaming others for your current place, not making excuses, but saying, this is where I am. This is what I've done. This is what I will do next. There's incredible freedom in that. Because when you face your reality without fear, you gain control. Either you run the day or the day runs you. Radical honesty lets you run your day. It empowers you to decide what matters most. It pushes you to take responsibility. It sets you free from the lies that keep you small. It's the foundation for growth, success, and fulfillment. Without it, you're wandering blind. But here's the challenge. Being honest with yourself can be uncomfortable. It can sting. It can challenge your identity and your self-image. You might feel shame or guilt. You might want to look away. You might want to return to the comforting lies. But courage is not the absence of fear. It's moving forward despite the fear. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines, practiced every day. And radical honesty is the first discipline, the first practice, the first step. Because once you see clearly, you can take action confidently. You can course correct. You can choose the habits, the people, the environments that serve your growth. This is why radical honesty is so powerful. It doesn't just change your perspective. It changes your life. It transforms confusion into clarity. It transforms excuses into accountability. It transforms fear into courage. So here's what I want you to do. Take a moment to look at your life honestly. Where have you been holding back? Where have you been lying to yourself? What uncomfortable truths have you avoided? Then decide, are you willing to face them without fear? Are you willing to be honest with yourself, no matter how hard it is? Because when you do, you open the door to the life you truly desire. Radical honesty is not easy, but it is necessary. It is powerful. It is the only way forward. So embrace the truth, face your reality, and move forward boldly, clearly, and without fear. Let me tell you something important. You don't change your life with more talking. You change your life with movement. That's right. Thinking is good. Planning is useful. Reflection is necessary. But nothing, absolutely nothing, replaces action. Because at some point, the mirror must become a window. You've spent time looking inward. You've faced the truth. You've recognized the lies you've been telling yourself. Now, it's time to step forward. Now, it's time to do something about it. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. But here's the part people miss. That bridge must be built, one board at a time. And you build it with your habits, your decisions, your daily choices. And here's what separates the dreamers from the doers. Do you show up when it's hard or only when it's easy? Let me be honest with you, because that's what we're practicing here. You will never feel like it every day. Motivation is fickle. Energy fluctuates. Emotions rise and fall. If you only move when you feel like it, you're going to lose to someone who moves no matter what. You want to stop lying to yourself? Start showing up. Start keeping the promises you made to you. Here's the secret no one wants to hear. Consistency builds character. Discipline builds belief. You want to believe in yourself again? Don't just say, I'm going to change. Prove it. Even if it's small. Even if it's quiet. Even if no one claps for you. Because the applause you really need is your own. Affirmation without discipline is the beginning of delusion. You can say the right things all day long. I'm committed. I want to be successful. I'm going to start. But if your actions don't match your words, you're not growing. You're just rehearsing. So what does showing up look like? Sometimes it's waking up early. Sometimes it's turning off distractions. Sometimes it's saying no to what's easy and yes to what's necessary. Sometimes it's working when no one's watching. Sometimes it's starting over again. Sometimes it's moving forward even when the voice in your head says don't. That's discipline. And that's how you earn self-respect. Let me say this clearly. If you don't show up for yourself, no one else will. The world reflects what you allow. People treat you the way you treat yourself. And opportunities come to those already moving. Don't wait to feel confident. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Don't wait for someone to tell you to begin. Begin. Here's what happens when you show up consistently. You build momentum. You build evidence. You build identity. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's not even talent. It's doing what you said you'd do every day. When you say, I'll start tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes, that's a lie. And every time you repeat it, you chip away at your confidence. But when you say, I'll do it now, and you actually do, that's integrity. And every time you live it, you build a stronger, more powerful version of yourself. Discipline is the decision to act in spite of how you feel. Not after the motivation shows up, not after things get easier. You start right now with whatever you have, because what you have is enough to take the next step. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You just need to take the next discipline step. So ask yourself, did I show up for myself today? Did I do what I said I would? Am I becoming someone I can trust? If the answer is yes, keep going. If the answer is no, start again. Because self-respect is not built in a day. It's built in daily. It's built in the grind. It's built in the moments when it would have been easier to lie, but instead you acted in truth. Here's the truth. The future doesn't belong to the smartest. It doesn't belong to the luckiest. It belongs to the most disciplined, to the ones who take responsibility, to the ones who show up daily, to the ones who don't talk themselves out of their dreams. So if you're tired of lying to yourself, start doing what you said you'd do. Show up for yourself, not just today, but tomorrow and the day after that, because that's how change begins. That's how confidence grows. That's how character is built. And that, my friend, is how you reclaim your power. Let's talk about what really sets successful people apart. It's not their background. It's not their education. It's not their money. It's not even their talent. It's their truth. Their willingness to live in it. Their courage to face it. Their discipline to act on it consistently. Because at some point, you have to stop chasing perfection and start chasing what's real. If you don't like how things are, change it. You're not a tree. Now that sounds simple, doesn't it? But let's be honest. It's hard to change what you won't confront. It's hard to improve what you won't admit. It's hard to build on a surface that's built on denial. That's why I say this with love and urgency. You must stop lying to yourself and start getting real. Because your breakthrough doesn't come when everything's perfect. It comes when you decide to get honest about who you are and who you're not. Let me ask you, what happens when you stop chasing the image, the mask, the illusion? What happens when you stop telling the world what you hope to be and start becoming it silently, privately, brick by brick? That's when your real power begins to emerge. That's when you don't just look successful, you become it. Truth is not weakness. It's not defeat. It's strength. It's clarity. It's the foundation of your future. Imagine building a house on sand. It looks good for a while until the rain comes. But build it on solid rock, on truth, and it'll stand the storms. That's what we're doing here. We're building your life on rock, not sand. You see, many people want the results, but they avoid the real work. They want the rewards, but not the responsibility. They want the title, but not the transformation. But life doesn't work that way. You must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. Becoming unstoppable isn't about avoiding challenges. It's about becoming so grounded in truth that nothing can knock you down. When you lie to yourself, everything feels unstable. You start relying on luck, on timing, on other people to believe in you. But when your life is built on truth, you don't need validation. You don't need guarantees. You've already won because you've taken full ownership. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers, the amateurs from the professionals, the average from the exceptional. It's not talent. It's alignment. Your thoughts, your words, your actions all lined up with your truth. So how do you begin to live that way? You do it daily. You do it deliberately. You do it imperfectly, but you do it anyway. You speak truth to yourself. You say, this habit is holding me back. This excuse no longer serves me. I've been blaming others, but it's on me now. And then you follow it with action. You get up earlier. You learn that new skill. You take that first uncomfortable step. That's how you build a real life. Let me tell you something else. Living in truth doesn't mean life gets easier, but it does mean you get stronger. People may not understand your journey. They may question your decisions, but you'll sleep well knowing your choices are rooted in integrity. You'll be proud of yourself not because you're perfect, but because you're real, you're honest, and you're moving forward. Character is a quality that embodies many important traits, such as integrity, courage, perseverance, confidence, and wisdom. Truth builds character, and character sustains success. See, money can come and go. Opportunities can rise and fall. But your character, that's yours. And when it's grounded in truth, it makes you unshakable. Here's something I want you to remember. There's nothing more powerful than a person who is no longer hiding. When you stop pretending, when you stop running from the mirror, when you stop comparing yourself to everyone else, that's when you step into your real strength. You don't need to be like them. You need to be like you fully, truthfully, unapologetically. So how do we close this journey? We don't, because truth is not a chapter you finish. It's the foundation you live on every single day. Today, choose truth over convenience. Choose honesty over image. Choose effort over ego. No more lying to yourself. No more hiding in fear. No more shrinking for approval. Stand tall. Live bold. Be real. Because when you live in truth, you become unstoppable. So, here we are. We've walked through the excuses. We've peeled back the layers of self-deception. And we've uncovered something powerful, the truth. And now it's time, not tomorrow, not someday, but today, to stop lying to yourself, to stop waiting for the perfect conditions, to stop talking about it and start doing something about it. Because if you've learned anything in this journey, it's that change is possible. Growth is available. And success? It's within reach if you'll be honest enough to pursue it. The major value in life is not what you get. The major value in life is what you become. And who you become starts with what you believe, what you do, and whether you show up fully, honestly, and consistently. So, my friend, here's the final thought. Speak the truth. Live the truth. And build your life on truth. Because once you stop lying to yourself, you won't just move forward. You'll become unstoppable. Now get up. Get clear. Get to work. Your best life is waiting. And this time, it's built on something real.